Hello. In this section we're going to manipulate a spreadsheet. First though, we need to create a new word process document. So open Word, here's a new document. I need to save this first, so go to the File menu, Save As. I need to choose an appropriate folder to save this in. So I'm calling this Work Past Papers, Winter 2011 Paper 3, and the file name should be Evidence. So I save that, and then I want to put my name, centre number and candidate number in the header, so I can double click in the header of the document, press Tab to the centre, and I'll add my name, centre number and candidate number. Now I can save this again, and I'll keep it open ready to use later. Now I need to open a CSV file in a suitable software package. So the suitable software package would be Excel. So first I can go to Finder. The file is n1javelin.csv. Right click on the file name, open with Excel. Here's the file. Now I need to place some information in the header and footer. To do this in Excel, you need to go to the Page Setup option in the File menu. Click on the Header Footer tab, Customize Header. In the header, we just need name, candidate number, and centre number again. And in the footer, an automated file name and file path. Now, automated page numbers and so on are done by clicking on the buttons in the center of this box. This button here tells me it will insert the file path. So if I click there, it looks like this will display both the path and the file name as required. Click OK. OK. Now I need to find some information on the internet. I need the current Olympic record holders for men and women's javelin. So I open my web browser, I'll use Chrome, and I'll search for Olympic record holder men's, women's javelin. And I think the word Olympic here is necessary because we don't want the world record, we just want the Olympic record. So here are some search results. Wikipedia should be quite reliable. Let's look at that. But we don't want to trust a single source, so let's look at a couple more sources. Here we have Olympic.org. That looks like an official Olympic site, so that should be reliable. And I have Yahoo Answers, which is probably the least reliable source of anything, but I'll compare the three sources anyway. So looking at Wikipedia, we can see the men's javelin record holder is Andreas Thor Kilson from Norway, who threw 90.57 meters. If I compare that to Olympic.org, which says it is the official website of the Olympic movement, I'll have the same guy and the same distance, so I think I'll trust this. Yahoo Answers also gives me the same name, so actually all three seem quite reliable. Let's just compare the women's. Wikipedia gives me Osladis Menendez. Olympic.org, I need to change to the women's javelin. Yes, same lady. And Yahoo Answers gives me the same again. So I'll copy and paste these answers from Wikipedia because they seem to be better laid out here. So the men's record holder, I select his name, press Command C to copy, go back to Excel, it goes in here. Now I need to paste this without the link. If I do it directly with Command V, we can see the name is linked. We don't really want that, so I'll Command Z to undo. And instead, if I go to the Edit menu, I can select Paste Special, paste as text. And I need to widen column B so that I can see his entire name. The other information is easier to copy by hand, so he's from Norway. His distance is 90.57, and he achieved this record in 2008 in Beijing. The women's holder is this lady, so again select Command C, paste special. The keyboard shortcut here is Shift Command V. Sorry, Control Command V. Text. Okay. And before I change anything there, we can see the name seems to have been copied rather strangely. That's because she has an accented letter in her name. So let's correct that manually. It should be Menendez. She's from Cuba. Distance is 71.53. She achieved this in 2004 in Athens. Now I need to print this information. That is only the cells A1 to F4. So to do that, I can select those cells, go to the File menu, print selection. Let's see what this looks like in preview. And we can see it looks fine. It's got the header, it's got the footer. Small problem though, the distance in meters column heading is not completely shown. So let's increase the width of column D. And let's try that again. File, print, selection, open in preview again. And this time it looks reasonable enough. Except it's on 2 pages. Try once more. File, File, print. Fit to 1 page wide by 1 page tall. Print selection only. And this time we can see everything is there on a single page. We can see all of the required information. So I can print that and continue. Now I need to find cell A8, and I need to create a lookup function to show the country name in full. You can see the country code here is NZE, and there's a table in this file n1 country2.csv where I can look up that value. So first I need to open this file. So using Finder, here's the file, right click, open with Excel. So I'll keep that open. Going back to the first spreadsheet, now I need the formula. I'll use a Vlookup formula. Now the easy way to make functions is to use the function builder. So click the formula builder button, and the best function to use is Vlookup. So click on Vlookup, double click. Now first we need the value to look up in the table. The value we're looking up is NZE. So click there. Next, the table array. Where is it we're looking for that value? Well, we're looking at the table in the other spreadsheet. So I click on the other spreadsheet. Where's it gone? There it is. And I want to select the table from where I can look at the country names. Now I need to make sure while I'm doing this I don't select the column headings, and I also need to make sure that the table is already sorted in alphabetical order, in descending order, by the value I'm looking up. Otherwise the function doesn't work. It is in alphabetical order, so I can leave that. Back to Formula Builder. The last thing I need is the column index number. I want to display which column from this table. Well, I want to display the word in the second column, so I type the number 2. And the range lookup, this final one, is optional, so I'll leave that blank. Now that's finished, so I can press enter, and it shows that the country of Nigel George is New Zealand, which looks a reasonable country to have the code NZE. So looking at the formula in this cell, we can see C8 is a relative reference, that is, there's no $sign, so when I fill down, the C8 will change to D8, E8, and so on. But the cells from the other sheet, with the country codes in, are absolute references, that is, there's $signs in front of each letter and number, and that means when I fill down, those numbers will not change. And that's also correct, because I always want to look up the country from the same table. So I can fill down this formula safely, and I can see it seems to have worked. I just need to make column A slightly wider so that all of the country names are visible. Now in cell K8, I need a function to display the longest of the 6 throws made by each athlete. For this I can use a max function. So again I'll use Formula Builder, max, double click, and max just finds the maximum value in a range of arrays, and it already knows which range I want somehow. I want E8 to J8. Press enter, and then fill down. Next, in cell L8, I need a formula that will add the distance of all the throws for this athlete. So that will add from throw 1 through to throw 6. But we need to make sure we only add up the values in cells that don't include an NT. Now, NT isn't a number, so that wouldn't be added anyway, but just to please the examiner, what we can do here is use a SUMIF function, because SUMIF can be used to sum all the cells in a range only if they meet certain criteria. So again, the range we need to sum is from throw 1 to throw 6. We need to be careful here not to include the best throw, because otherwise we'd be summing that twice. And the criterion we want to use is that the cell is not equal to NT. So in quotation marks, I can type in not equals to. Now there's no not equals to key on the keyboard, so I type less than greater than as my symbol for not equal to, and then NT, because we want cells that are not equal to NT. End quotation marks. That's the end of the formula, so press enter. that seems to have worked. So again, we can fill down. Now I need a formula in M8 to find the number of throws that are not recorded as NT. For this I can use the COUNTIF function. The range of cells I'm counting, again, is from E8 to J8. And the criterion, again, is that the cell is not equal to NT. So double quotation marks, less than, greater than means not equal to, NT, in quotation marks, enter. And fill down. That's worked because most of the cells are 6, but wherever there's an NT, the number has decreased. Now in cell N8, I need to calculate the average throw length only for the throws where a distance was recorded, using cells L8 and M8 to help me. Well, the average distance is just going to be the total distance thrown divided by the number of throws, so L8 divided by M8 is going to be the average. But this needs to be rounded to 1 decimal place, so I can use the round function to do this. You can see the round function rounds a number to a specified number of digits. So the number I want to round is L8 divided by M8, and I want to round this to 1 decimal place, so I type the number 1 in the number of digits field. Press enter. And fill down. That's correctly rounded. However, some of these have no decimal places because they're, for example, this would be 75.0. So to indicate that we've done this properly, we can display every cell to 1 decimal place. Now I can use an if function for this, and this is going to be a nested if statement. So I'm not going to use formula builder this time because that doesn't cope so well with nested if functions. To do that, I type equals if, open brackets. The first test is to see if this athlete is male or female. So click on male, and we're comparing this to the word male. So if D8 equals quotation marks male, then we want to test to see if the record has been broken. So we need another if statement in here. If the best throw is greater than the record, and the record is 90.57, but this cell D3, when I fill down, that will become D4, D5, and so on. I don't want that to happen, so I need to make this into an absolute reference. So if the record has been broken, then I display the word yes. Otherwise, the record has not been broken, so we display no. Now, if D8 is not equal to male, then we can assume safely it's equal to female, and so we can test for the female record. So we want another statement, if, open brackets, now the test is if the best throw is greater than the women's record, And I need to make the women's, I need to make that an absolute reference. And if that's true, I want to display yes. If it's not true, display no. Close bracket, close brackets. That should work. Press enter. And if I fill down, I don't expect any records to be broken, otherwise the information we just found might not be correct. But actually there are several record breaking throws here. Is that reasonable? Yes, because the best throw here is 78.54 for a female. Now I need to right align all cells in columns D to O, so I can select from D to O, click the right align button. I need to set the page orientation to landscape, so I can click layout orientation landscape. I want to save this spreadsheet with the file name athletes, so file, save as, make sure I save it in my working folder, save it as athletes. And I want to make sure I save it as an Excel workbook so I preserve all of my information. Next I need to hide columns B to J. So click up at the top on the column label, B to J, right click, hide. Now I need to print the spreadsheet showing the formulae used. So I can click on Formulas, show formulas, and that will display in every cell the formula used in that cell. Now, before printing this, I need to make the columns wide enough to see the whole formula. So I can resize the cells. And I want to print the spreadsheet, making sure all contents of all cells are visible. They are, and the printout should be 2 pages wide. So File, Print, fits to 2 pages wide. And to make it 2 pages wide, I also need to allow the printout to be sufficiently tall. So change this number to 2 as well. Let's look at the preview. And here we can see everything included on a printout 2 pages wide. One other thing though, I need to make sure the row and column headings are visible. Again, click on Layout, click on Headings, that will display the column headings. Now I can print, File, Print, Preview, and that's fine. I can print that and move on. Next I need to make sure all of the data is fully visible, so I can select the two rows surrounding the hidden rows. Right click, unhide. Now I don't need to display formulae anymore. Now I want to show data. So click on the data toolbar, formulas toolbar, show unselect show formulas. Make sure everything is fully visible. Do a bit of resizing. I want to select only athletes where the country is Great Britain. So I can click on the country, the heading of the country column, and I can use the filter tool to filter by cell value. Click on the filter icon, and I only want to display where the country is Great Britain. So I can select items here, I can select Great Britain. Okay, there's that one. And I need to create a vertical bar chart using the athletes' names and the average distance thrown. So I select the athletes' names, hold down Command, select the average distance. To insert a chart, click on the Charts toolbar, and I want a column chart. I'll choose the simplest one. Here it is. I can delete the legend. I need to add a title, so if I click Chart Layout, Chart Title, above Chart, British Javelin Throwers. Okay. Now in order to print the chart by itself, I'll move this to a separate sheet. So I can right click on the chart, move chart to new sheet, okay. And here it is by itself, everything's visible, so File, Print. So I need to add the header and footer again to this new worksheet. So I click File, Page Setup, Header, add in footer, this looks better. Now open in preview, and here we can see everything as required, so I can print that and move on. Back to the spreadsheet, and column L and M. First let's remove the filter. And columns L and M need hiding, so I select them, right click, hide. The cells in row 6 and 7 needs to be bold, italic and center aligned. So click Home, bold, italic, center aligned. Now I need to find all the athletes who've broken the current Olympic record. So again that means there's a filter. I only want rows where record breaking is yes. However, there's a problem here that row 7 has disappeared. So in order to keep row 7, I need to start the filter from cell 07. So I'll select only the cells including yes or no and the word breaking. Filter, filter. Only with the word yes. Now, the data needs sorting first into descending order of gender. So click on the first female and click on data sort descending. Let's undo that. Again, Excel is including row 7 in the sort, so I'll select all of the data from the need sorting, so from cell A11 to O74, and I'll do a custom sort. Now first I want to sort by gender. Gender is column D, so sort by column D, sort on values. Order is descending. Descending in terms of alphabetical order is from Z to A. And then I want to sort by descending order of best throw. Best throw is column K, so I add another level to sort by, column K. Descending means largest to smallest. That's okay. That's sorted. I need to print the data showing the values. So print the entire sheet, file, print. This time everything fits on one page. Let's look at the preview. Looks good. So I can print that. And that's the end of this section. Thank you for watching.